Hello, Geneva. Welcome to the Sports Shield podcast, where we will be talking about professional sports. I'm your Sports Shield host, Quinn Kennedy, and I am joined by.
Chris Suger. I play on the Geneva basketball team.
So let's dive right in with NFL last week playoffs. Let's start with Buccaneers versus Eagles. This was a blowout game by the Buccaneers. I really was hoping the Eagles would put up a fight, but on Jalen Hurts' injured leg, he really couldn't do that much.
Yeah, Jalen Hurts did not look good in this game. Two picks, uh, just over 50% completion. Did not look great. The Bucks did not look that great either, as they just didn't look that dominant over a kind of bad Eagles team.
Now, Cowboys versus 49ers. This game had a crazy ending with the 49ers winning, and the Cowboys deciding to go for a QB draw with time expiring and no timeouts. What's your opinions on this play, Chris?
I like the play call actually. The 49ers were in prevent guarding the sideline. I just wish Dak went down earlier so they could actually have gotten the spike down. I don't blame the ref at all. I kind of blame Dak here.
Yeah, I think they could have gotten down faster. I think it really was a good play. It just ended up not working out how they thought. They were inside or right inside the red zone after that play. The game just ended up expiring before they could get that one final shot off. And with that insane receiving core they have and Dak Prescott at QB, I think that offense would have scored there if they had gotten the spike.
Yep, I agree. Next up is the Rams Cardinals game. This was an unexpected blowout. The Rams came out and dominated, and Kyler Murray did not look good in his first playoff appearance, throwing two picks and one pick six, which is Matt Stafford's thing.
I really expected the Cardinals to put up a fight at the beginning of the season. I mean, they were dominant, they were undefeated, and they just have had this second season collapse going on, a terrible streak.
They did not look good at all, and the score may look close, but it wasn't close at all. So, next up is the Chiefs versus the Steelers. This was also not a very close one. The Chiefs scored six straight drives, which is insane, no matter who you're playing against. Um, feel bad for Big Ben, but you had to see this one coming.
Yeah, I'm sad to see him go. He was a great player for the NFL up until he destroyed his shoulder. And another funny note about Big Ben possibly retiring is that Big Ben's last career interception was actually Ravens safety Geno Stone's first career interception, really showing that in even the world like the NFL, energy can't be created or destroyed.
Yep. Next up, we got the Bills and the Patriots. Once again, this was one that I expected to be a lot closer, but the Patriots defense, their strongest area of the field the entire year, did not show up, allowing 7 touchdowns, no punts, no field goals, no knee downs. It's
The
insane.
Bills had played the first perfect game in NFL history, I believe, where there weren't any drives that ended without a touchdown, I believe is what it was. They had one drive at the end of the game where they kneeled it down, and I think that brought them to the fourth down. But I mean, that was the closest they ever got, and I just think the Bills truly showed that they were a dominant force and are ready to go deep in this year's playoffs.
Yeah, this will be a matchup that will be interesting for years to come as Mac Jones will get more experience, and hopefully the Patriots will get more weapons from the throw too. Next up, the Raiders versus the Bengals. This was an interesting game, as in my opinion, the refs threw that game. They called a whistle on Joe Burrow running out of bounds, and they scored a touchdown on that play. I felt that was kind of misleading, but at the end of the day, the Bengals were the better team, and they got the best of the Raiders and Derek Carr.
Yeah, I really think the Raiders showed the fact that they had more heart on that field than the Bengals. I think the Raiders are going to be a dominant force if they keep their current head coach. I think their locker room could possibly be, I mean, as a locker room team, they could be debated for the best in the NFL. That fan base is truly dominant, and with a coach that is likable behind them, I think we could see the Raiders becoming a force in the AFC West.
Now we'll talk about next week's matchups. Buccaneers versus Rams. Who do you got here?
I think I have to take the Rams. I think Matthew Stafford is really going to show that he can do stuff in the playoffs. I mean, I think Tom Brady won't be able to keep up with Aaron Donald and the other dominant defensive front. I think Jalen Ramsey is going to play the best football we've ever seen him play and play as a lockdown corner like he's supposed to be.
Yeah, I have to agree here. The Buccaneers are so injured. They might not be playing with both Tristan Wirfs and Ryan Jensen, and they're already missing Chris Godwin. They obviously lose Antonio Brown, and they don't have Shaq Barrett. And early in the year, the Rams got the best of them, and it wasn't a close game. I'm going to take the Rams here too.
49ers versus Packers. I actually have the 49ers getting another upset 2 weeks in a row. If we all remember what happened last time the Packers faced the 49ers in the playoffs, it was an absolute blowout game that ended up sending them to the Super Bowl. Now, yes, this is a relatively different team offensively. I still think the 49ers are going to get this win.
This is an interesting matchup, but in my opinion, if Nick Bosa does not play and Fred Warner do not play, then the Packers will easily win this one, as the strong suit of the 49ers is their defense. And if they have to rely on Jimmy Garoppolo, I don't like their chances here.
Chiefs versus Bills. This game is going to be a complete shootout. The Bills do have a better defense than the Chiefs, which is why I'm taking them having the win here. But I think we're going to really see a good game for Patrick Mahomes. We're going to see that 2018 Patrick Mahomes once again. I think it's going to be a fun game to watch.
I think this game solely relies on which Josh Allen shows up. Is it going to be the one that showed up against the Falcons with 3 picks and under 50% completion? Or is it going to be the one that showed up last week with 4 total incompletions and 5 touchdowns? If he plays good, the Bills take this one, but I don't see that happening, as the last time they played in the playoffs, Chiefs dominated.
Bengals versus Titans. We have the 1 seed versus the 3 seed in this one, I believe. 4 seed. And I think it's going to be a crazy matchup. Derrick Henry still isn't back yet, correct?
He is.
Derrick Henry back? Because I think I would take the I really want the Bengals to win this one, but I think the Titans, if Derrick Henry gets angry, if we see the early season Derrick Henry we saw, I think the Titans are going to easily win this one. And I think they will become my Super Bowl favorites if Derrick Henry is back in full force.
The Titans have been able to squeak out a good season this year, but Bengals are red hot. No one can stop Joe Burrow, Jamar Chase. Uh, Several defenses have tried, but that's an elite connection. And the Titans' strong suit is not their secondary; it's being able to pound the ball and get you off the field on 3rd down. And I don't see them doing that against the red hot Joe Burrow, so I'll take the Bengals.
We're really about to see 4 insane games this weekend. 4 games that have really good offenses and great defenses. I think we're going to see shootouts all across the board. All games, if I were able to bet, I would be taking the over to say the least. I think we're going to have a fun weekend, and I think this weekend could go down in NFL history as just an action-packed, fun-filled weekend.
Yes, this week has a lot of stakes for a lot of quarterbacks here. A lot of quarterbacks trying to make a statement, and some trying to get back to the promised land, like Tom Brady and Patrick Mahomes. So
that's all the news we have for you today, Geneva. Thank you for tuning into our podcast.